Hey everyone, it's Carly Hall, and today I'm doing a tutorial on how to layer HTV or heat transfer vinyl or iron-on. They are all the same thing. So I have some StarCraft HTV. This is the Soft Flex, and they just released a whole bunch of new colors, and I'm way excited to try them. So I picked some that I loved, and we're gonna make a super cute little project with the top four colors here. So this pink, teal, purple, and pink. And I'll put the exact color names on the video's description so you can check them out. But again, this is StarCraft HTV. It's the Soft Flex. So let's get started in Design Space, designing our project. In Design Space, I started designing a cute little layered image that we're going to use for this project. So I found this image in the library, and if you right click on your layer, you can find where the image came from. So we'll go to the Utah image that I found, and then we'll go to the image set. So this is Utah, the Beehive State. But if you want to search for your state, you can just go back to image, and up here at the very left, click on all images, and then say whatever state you're looking for, you can search. So let's look for California. And a whole bunch of images will pop up. So again, you just want to make sure that you're not filtered to anything. So again, clicking on the all images up here and then search from here. Or if you're looking for a specific image, you can also search by the M number. So for example, they give you an M number. And sometimes I'll put these in my video descriptions so you can actually search by that number. Okay, so once I found my image, it came in and it just was this black and white image. To get the thicker letters that are going to go behind it, you can just contour out your image. So you're going to click on your image and then choose contour. And before you do that, make a copy. So we're going to make a copy either by clicking duplicate or Command C, Command V, or if you're on a Windows, Control C, Control V, and paste. Then you're going to choose contour in the bottom right. I like to start by hiding all contours and then zooming out so I can see what I'm doing. Once you zoom out, you'll want to find the thicker version of the letter. So there's two H's. You'll want to choose that thick H. And then that's your first letter. I just copy it from that H and then I repeat the process until I have all of the outlines. So you can see that they all match the wider block. So then what I did is I just rearranged them onto my image so that they were all in the right place, just like this. And then you can start playing with the colors. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll just change them all to one color, but you can pick any color that you want. And then you'll take your outline image and move that to the front. On your keyboard using the arrow keys, I just clicked twice to the right and twice down to give it a little bit of an offset. And there you go. So I'm going to be using my cute colored images just like this. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we can get rid of this example. So once you're at this step, you're going to want to resize it. I'm using a kid's t-shirt, so I'm going to resize mine to 7 inches by 8.8 inches, and then we're going to cut it. So you'll just click Make It, and Cricut will sort everything to the appropriate colored mats. On this step, you'll just want to make sure that you mirror it. So you'll mirror all of your mats, make sure they're all mirrored, and then click Continue. Connect to your machine, and then choose the material that you're cutting. If you're ever unsure about the settings that you're supposed to cut your material on, you can use this document on 651 vinyl, and I will put this in the video description, and you can find what setting you're supposed to use. So let's go down to StarCraft, and we have StarCraft Soft Flex. We're going to use the Cricut settings for just regular everyday iron-on, and it will give you the settings for silhouette, brother scan and cut, and then it will also give you the pressing temperature. And you'll notice with Soft Flex that we're going to press with a much lower heat. So it's only 285 degrees for 8 to 10 seconds. All right, so now we'll go back to our cut window. And now that we know the setting, if you're using an Air 2, you can turn your dial to iron-on, or you can turn it to custom and then do browse all materials and choose everyday iron-on. So let's load it into our machine and get cutting. So I'll start with this pink color. When you're cutting HTV or iron-on, you're going to put the shiny side down on the mat. So we're going to flip this over, and some colors will be the color of the HTV and some will be white like this. So you'll just place this onto your mat and smooth it out, and then put it into your machine. Load it into your machine. Make sure that you have the fine point blade installed, and then once the C starts flashing, click that. Once it's done cutting, you'll unload it, and it'll be a little bit difficult to see the cut lines, but there's cut lines, and don't be worried, it will not cut through, so you don't want it to cut all the way through. We'll unload it from the mat by flipping our mat over and peeling that away. And then using some scissors, you can cut down your vinyl as close to your cut as you feel comfortable with. I like to cut mine pretty close. And then using whatever weeding tool you want, this is the pin pen, you can grab a corner of your material and you'll just peel away the excess. So this process is called weeding, and we'll weed out the excess material, leaving just the image that we want to transfer. So you'll repeat this for every color, and you'll do the same exact steps, and then I'll meet you back here. For our letters, I'm going to place them onto my liner, and I'm going to place them in the position that I want. So take a look at your image and decide if you want the outline offset this way or this way, whatever you want, and then just stick them onto the liner where you'd like, and that's going to help us gauge where we're going to put it onto our final project. So I'm going to try it this way, I think, opposite of what I did on my preview. So let's just see what it looks like. I'm using an easy press mat, and then this is a 100% cotton t-shirt. You can use whatever type of shirt you'd like. And then our easy press is set to 285. So I'm just going to smooth out my shirt, preheat it a little bit so that it's nice and flat. Okay, now for the tricky part. We're going to place this on our t-shirt. For kids' shirts, I go about 2 fingers down from the bottom of the neckline, and then you'll just center it as best you can. I am a finger measurer, so you can measure it out however you'd like. Then once you have it where you want, do not press it yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to peel away the top liner, leaving just the colored letters. So we're just going to peel this away. Now on this step, it's pretty important because you don't want your liners to overlap at all. So right now, you can see that the purple one is down and it's not overlapping anything, but the T overlaps onto that. So we can do a couple of things here. I can press my H on and then go back and put my other ones on, or I can trim down my liners. So whatever you think is easiest for you. I'm gonna trim down my liners super thin because I think it will be easier for us to do it this way. So I am going to trim them down. So when you do this, do as I say, not as I do, and trim down your liners first and then place them onto your Utah. What I like about iron-on is that you can really reposition it as much as you want. It's not like adhesive vinyl where you're stuck once you place it. So again, you just want to make sure that those liners are not overlapping. So when we place this on, we're going down and to the right. All right, so now that we have it, we can just make sure that we like how it looks. I don't even know if I did it the same way, but I do like how that looks. I think it's super cute. So we will go ahead and press this on. So we're going to place it, and then we'll move it to the position that we like on our t-shirt, making sure that there's no wrinkles or anything in our shirt. And then once you have where you like it, don't press it yet because we don't want to press the outline to the top of our liner. So we're just going to peel this off slowly to make sure that our letters stay in place, the colored letters. Okay, so we have all of the colors on. Do another last check to make sure that you're not overlapping. So I was overlapping a little bit on the A and the U. So you'll want to do a little check to make sure that none of that clear liner is under your iron-on. So just take your finger and trace your letters. Make sure that nothing is underneath it. And then once you're good, we're going to press it. You do not need a pressing sheet or a protective sheet over the top. You can take your easy press and go directly over it. And we're just going to press for 4 to 5 seconds. So I have my timer set for 30, so we'll just press it for 5 seconds since we're doing another layer. Once you tack it down, you can peel these off. They won't be stuck all the way, but you can peel them off and do your final layer. Since I didn't place my letters perfectly, you have a couple of options. You can just place this and make it, wherever you want because it looks cute just like this. But if you want them to all be evenly offset, you can trim them apart and place them section by section, which is what I'm going to do because that's just how I am. And when I mess up, no big deal. Okay, for this step, it is really important since we don't have anything covering our letters to use some type of barrier between your Easy Press and your t-shirt and iron on. You don't need to use a protective iron-on sheet. You can use a piece of butcher paper or a Teflon sheet. And then I'm just going to go back over the letters and just hit these with some heat for 3 to 5 seconds. So then we'll do the same thing on this one. We'll just offset it slightly. And we'll offset this one. Again, just making sure that none of the liners are overlapping. That is probably the biggest thing when you're doing layering. That's the only thing that really can mess you up. And then we'll just press this for 5 seconds again. Once you have all of your liners off, I like to go in for one last final press for the full amount of time. And again, since I'm using this protective iron-on sheet, I'm going to do 15 seconds so that it kind of accounts for that extra layer in there. So we're just going to do this for a full 15. And then we can peel off this and our shirt is good to go. So here's our final shirt. It turned out super cute. You can see that the layers are really forgiving. So even though I decided to change it up several times, it made for a really cute project. One myth that I always see is that you have to see the texture of the shirt through the iron-on to make sure that it's on there. I don't believe that. So I think that once you follow the manufacturer's instructions, you're good to go. This will be on there. If you want to turn it inside out to wash it, then it'll just increase the life. But you don't need to see the texture through the shirt. I think that that's a myth in the crafting world. And then you can also see that this soft flex is super thin. So when you ball it up, it doesn't feel like a sticker on the front of it. It kind of molds with the shirt a little bit better. So it's really thin and it does have a little bit of flex. So that's why it's called soft flex. It's not rigid like a sticker on your t-shirt. So if you haven't tried the new StarCraft line, you should check it out. I'll put a link in my description. And now that there's all these new colors, there's so many projects that you can make. So you have to let me know if you try it out. Let me know what you think of this project, and if you end up making it, make sure to tag me in your projects. If you're looking for more Cricut tutorials, make sure to check out my Facebook group, Cricut Crafts with Carly Hall, so that if you have any questions, you can ask them in that group and we'll get those answered for you. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.